First up, the Special Frontier Force. In 1962, India lost a war to China. It was humiliating. And right after that, India did something most people don't know about. They teamed up with the CIA to create a secret guerrilla force made entirely of Tibetan refugees. It was called Establishment 22, named after its first commander, Major General Sujin Singh Uban. These were Tibetans who had already been fighting the Chinese in their homeland. India trained them in the mountains of Chakrata, Uttarakhand. Their original mission was to launch covert operations behind Chinese lines if another war broke out. But over time, they became much more than that. They fought in the 1971 war in the Chittagong Hill Tracts. They operated in Kargil in 1999, and in 2020, during the Ladakh standoff with China at Pangong Lake, it was SFF soldiers who occupied key mountain peaks overnight. A Tibetan SFF soldier even lost his life during that operation. The unit still operates today under the Cabinet Secretariat, not the Army. Most of their missions remain completely classified. Next, Marcos, the Marine Commandos, India's answer to the Navy SEALs. Established in 1987, Marcos are trained for operations in the sea, in the air, and on land. Their selection is one of the toughest in the world. Training lasts over 2 years. Candidates go through extreme underwater endurance tests, jungle warfare, desert survival, and high-altitude combat training. Dropout rates are over 90%. Marcos can operate in freezing waters, conduct underwater demolition, and carry out shipboarding operations. They were deployed during the 2008 Mumbai attacks and were among the first responders at the Taj Hotel. They've conducted operations in Jaffna during the Sri Lankan conflict and along India's coast. Their operational details are almost never made public. Even their exact strength is classified. Now, Ghatak Platoons. Most people have never even heard this name. But every single infantry battalion in the Indian Army has one. Ghatak means lethal, and that's exactly what they are. These are hand-picked soldiers from within a battalion, selected for their physical fitness, aggression, and willingness to take on the most dangerous tasks. They operate ahead of the main force. Their job is to go behind enemy lines, gather intelligence, carry out ambushes, and create chaos before the main assault begins. During the Kargil War, Ghatak platoons led some of the most dangerous uphill assaults against fortified Pakistani positions at extreme altitudes. They climbed near vertical cliffs at night, in freezing temperatures to reach enemy bunkers. There's no special badge, no flashy selection process shown on TV. They simply exist inside every battalion, always ready. Chapter 4. NSG, the National Security Guard. You've probably heard them called the Black Cats. Formed in 1984 after Operation Blue Star, the NSG was created to be India's elite counter-terrorism force. Commandos are drawn from the Indian Army and paramilitary forces. Only the best get selected, and then they go through one of the hardest training programs in the country. The NSG became world famous during the 2008 Mumbai attacks. But here's what most people don't know. When the attacks happened, the NSG was based only in Delhi. It took nearly 10 hours for them to reach Mumbai. 10 hours. After that failure, the government set up regional NSG hubs in Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, and Hyderabad so they could deploy within minutes. The NSG has also conducted hundreds of operations you've never heard about, including hostage rescues and counter-hijack operations. Para-SF, the Parachute Special Forces. These are the Indian Army's most elite soldiers. If there's a mission behind enemy lines, Para-SF gets the call. Formed in the 1960s, they are trained in freefall parachuting, combat diving, jungle warfare, mountain warfare, desert warfare, and demolitions. Basically, they can operate anywhere. The 2016 surgical strikes across the line of control were carried out by Para-SF commandos. They crossed into Pakistan-administered Kashmir at night, hit multiple terrorist launch pads, and came back before dawn. Multiple battalions exist within Para-SF, each with a slightly different specialization. Some focus on direct action, some on reconnaissance. Their motto is Balidan, which means sacrifice. CoBRA, Commando Battalion for Resolute Action. While most special forces deal with external threats, CoBRA was created for something different. India's internal war against Naxal insurgents in the dense jungles of central and eastern India. Raised in 2009 under the CRPF, CoBRA units are trained specifically for jungle warfare and tracking. They operate in areas where even the regular army hesitates to go. Thick forests, no roads, no communication, no maps. CoBRA commandos have led operations deep inside Maoist territory, dismantling camps and intercepting ambushes. They've suffered heavy losses, but have also turned the tide in India's fight against left-wing extremism. Force 1. After the 2008 Mumbai attacks exposed how unprepared the city's police were, Maharashtra created its own elite tactical unit. Force 1 was operational by 2009. These are Mumbai police commandos trained to respond to terror attacks within the city within 15 minutes. No more waiting 10 hours for the NSG. They train with the NSG, with Marcos, and even with foreign special forces. They specialize in building intervention, hostage rescue, and urban counter-terrorism. Force 1 is one of the only city-level police tactical units in India with this level of training. And finally, the most secretive of all, the Special Group. This unit is so classified that the Indian government has never officially confirmed it exists. But defense journalists and former intelligence officials have written about it extensively. The Special Group reportedly operates directly under India's Research and Analysis Wing, the country's external intelligence agency. Their missions are said to include covert operations on foreign soil, intelligence gathering in hostile territory, and direct action against high-value targets. If RAW needs something done that no one can ever know about, the Special Group is reportedly who they send. Almost nothing about their selection, training, or operations is publicly known. And that's exactly the point.